Hey everybody, Vrinn here for another episode of Stellaris. So I went ahead and edited my save game file just a little bit to change the victory year down a little bit because I am really beating up the galaxy pretty quickly. And I want to win when it seems appropriate. So we check, I am no longer in a war with anyone, which is nice. The Galactic is probably going to be, let's declare them rivals, probably be my next war here. They have a defensive pact with the Mesh Ben League, which is all the way, where are they? Mesh Ben. Okay, these guys, these purple guys that I just stomped. So what I'm going to do is get my fleets in position for a war against the Galactic because, well, because I can. Speed time up a little bit. And I think I'm going to reinforce this fleet just a tad, a smidgen per se, so that they're a little bit stronger. But what I might do is actually, let's pause a second. I might do that with battleships because why not? So, research. I was waiting, maybe I'll wait on the advanced combat roles to finish up, and then I'll crank out some battleships. Got a whole, oh, the Mesh Ben League just shut their borders to me. I think I'm kind of stuck. This fleet is kind of stuck on the wrong side of the wall there, but that's okay. I will fix that. So these guys, if I recall, are... Nope, they don't like me. Who likes me? These guys like me? Yeah, they... Well, barely, but they do like me, sort of. I just need to make sure that they don't close their borders while I'm traveling through their territory, or else I will get ejected in a strange way. So let's take a look at cruisers and see about redesigning them. Putting some better weapons in them, better armor. But honestly, I'll probably not end up using too many more cruisers anymore. You want to sell me a governor? That's just not interesting to me. So I'm actually not going to bother upgrading my cruisers. I'm just going to have a big old battleship fleet. I think that's probably the way I want to go about this from now. See if there's any other Ascension perks I want in the meantime. Not really.
Upscaling complete.
I haven't checked on my planets in a little bit. Stability is all fairly reasonably high. So nothing to worry about. Ooh, someone wants a commercial pact. If only it would let me click on it. There we go. Quadrivox Union. Why you want a commercial pact? I don't know. Who are you allied with? No one? Okay. I will, I'll honor this. Why not? And then I have the influence and energy to open up a branch office. So let's go ahead and supplement our alloys even further, unless there's something else that makes more sense. Looking at my income, alloys would probably be the right way to go, or unity, but I think I'm going to go alloys. Be a private military contractor. And of course, ooh, let's check this out. See if there's any tech to get off of Rixum A. Where, ooh, that is a bummer. There is literally no way I'm going to get there in time. My closest construction ship Oh, no, that's something else. My closest construction ship is not that far. So let's get that one moving. The other one was for debris research. Where is my scientist that was down here? I had a scientist. Let's check over here. They must have died. Gotten blown up, something like that. Just sort of checking on everything. All right, I have a new tradition available. This means I'm finishing up the harmony tree. This gives me a home field advantage in combat. And then finishing the harmony tree increases my stability on all planets by an extra 5%, which is very cool. And then it gives me another Ascension perk that I am not currently using, because I did not plan out very well.
Research actualized.
Got the advanced combat rolls. I'm going to roll out with some battleships now. So ship designer. Let's design some ships. X-sized front for a particle lance. Then here is going to be some kinetic batteries. And then when we get up close, we'll use something that does plasma accelerator. Okay. That seems about right. Let's give this increased chance to hit. And put regenerative hull and advanced afterburners in there. Afterburners increases evasion and sublight speed, which is nice. Some shields. Maybe a little bit more shields than armor. And call this Implar, sure. Okay, let's roll out with some Implar. And I really don't have the alloy for that. Two Implar for now. I'm not going to use all my alloy. I'm only really reinforcing my second expeditionary. My first expeditionary is big enough that I can boss around my neighbors and they can't do anything about it. If I look at my... I only have one rivalry. Now the problem here is if they're pathetic, I can't rival them. So Koloktora, you guys, Mesh Ben, I'm going to go to war with soon. And the Sathori, I'm going to rival as well. I want the beautiful influence that comes with rivalries. And that's now calculated. There we go. A little bit more. Looking at the factions. Oh, that reminds me. Didn't I research the... Let's check the already researched stuff. The Deep Space Black Site. Alright, let's take advantage of the Deep Space Black Site. So what that does is it is a building that you build in a space station orbiting a planet, and it does a lot of things. It produces some unity, and then it will also increase the ethics traction of my governing ethics. So that is, I would say, pretty important. Important enough that I'm going to go so far as to put starports on all the worlds that I currently have, and make sure that I have that going to get built. And this will, what this will do is it will have my people, how to explain this? They will more likely be in my governing factions, my Materialist and Egalitarian. And that way, my xenophiles and my xenophobes will decrease. Ideally. Another way to do this is to modify my species here and add in conformists. And maybe I'll end up doing that too, once I get some more gene points. I'm not turning them into the Borg per se, but I guess I sort of am.
Upscaling complete.
Okay, so the Vrinn just cranked out those 2 battleships, so we'll get them to the front. The Quadrivox Union already broke my commercial pact, which is fine. I'll declare them rivals. The branch office that I opened there is still there because they'd have to go to war with me to get rid of it. And I don't plan on losing any wars, so screw those guys. Checking up on my planet, I need some additional housing on Dram. Soon Sabtrock's going to need jobs, but not quite yet. And that's about all I need to do. Stability is really high now. Let's look at the edicts. Or not edicts, policies. Making sure all my policies are good. And then species. Set rights of my species. So I can also give them academic privilege, which, or utopian abundance. So utopian abundance uses a lot more consumer goods, but keeps everyone a lot happier. And then academic privilege, I'm going to do utopian abundance and see how much that costs me in consumer goods, because I am pretty wealthy. Oh, I got some pirates. That's cute. I have pirates
engaged.
In literally a system I have battleships. Not much of an issue. Obviously, I have some piracy that I have to deal with. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. So let's check. Yep, I need to get... you know, I'm just going to make another spaceport here. I can afford it. Might as well.
Special project actualized. I
researched space torpedoes with my with that event. All right, I still want to merge these 2 fleets, but then additionally, what I can do is crank out 2 pirate hunters. They're pretty cheap ships to make, and try to squish my piracy before the
upscaling complete.
Well, that was fast. Let's park these ships here to get rid of the pirates, to quell the piracy that I currently have. I could just put pirate hunters on every one camped on every world, and they would squash the piracy, and I might end up doing that. That might not be a terrible solution.
Upscaling complete.
So that last upscaling complete was the deep space black sites being built. Dram, where are you? You here don't need anything, so I'll put anchorage stations. I don't need to protect piracy there. Alright, so these guys, I'm just going to call them pirate hunters. I don't really care if I mix up the names. And I'm worried about these guys closing their border to me. So I want to get started on this war really soon. So I'm just going to declare war pretty much now, so I don't end up being border screwed. Let's subjugate them.
To protect our consumer base.
And move my fleet. Sweet. So these fleets aren't really prohibiting, they aren't really suppressing the piracy in the way I need them to. I might need some more ships. What I think can do is for now, crank out some additional pirate hunters, and then
Station engaged.
and then I'll have a starbase to handle it.
Upscaling complete.
Got some Star Fortress research done. Citadel would be good. Let's see if there's anything. Alloy Mega Forges would be awesome. I've been waiting for that for quite some time now.
Competitors detected.
They have a fleet going in Shukon. Sounds like a cuss, but... what I'm doing is I'm merging all of my pirate hunters together into one bigger fleet to see if I can suppress the
complete.
Piracy that way. And then Mondakir here can now make some hangar bays and I guess a resource silo. And that will help suppress some additional piracy, which is always good. Alright, so my fleet just repaired. This fleet is merged with the battleships, so they're ready to roll. I'm going to do... There's really not a lot of low-hanging fruit here, but foreign soil enrichment. As you can see, the piracy effects are about to be 0 here. Ta-da! No more piracy. And I'll just keep quelling the pirates. What I'll do is jump to Arcturus for now, and then jump back and forth and blow pirate ships up so that we can suppress piracy. They have... This army is a little weakened. They're not their normal strength. We haven't been able to resupply them in a while. Let's go ahead and... We just got Gene Warriors, if I do recall. Let's get a crazy Gene Warrior army fielded.
Attempting to acquire.
They're a lot tougher troops than the traditional, which will help us with invasions. And here's a big fleet battle. We just popped on our 8K fleet onto their 4K fleet. And we're doing pretty well there. Alright, we grabbed their planet here. And I'm just going to prioritize getting their capitals for speed purposes more than anything else. One of our destroyers, our cruisers, was destroyed. Oh, retrofit. There we go. They were the wrong class. We'll have them sit there and repair once this station is back up and running. Doing the same over here. Alright, this fleet is all set to go. Trying to war real quick. Some steamrolling action, if I can have it. Actually, at this point, given my consumer good lack, I'm going to buy a big bulk of it. But then, let's replace all of this with something that creates consumer goods. Oh, this already does. Okay, so let's get some more consumer goods out here. Oh, they're both virtual. Okay, we'll switch these over. This isn't exactly going to help me bridge my consumer gap, but it's a start. I can upgrade my civilian fabricators on other worlds once I have the minerals to do more of it. In fact, here's some minerals. Boom. So, civilian industries, upgrading to fabricators. And that should help remedy my consumer good lack.
Research actualized.
deficit there. Okay, we're still squishing pirates here. The current piracy effects is 0. This fleet I'm going to have to patrol back and forth. We just got the mega forges. And this makes even more consumer goods, so we'll get the replica complexes going. And now we are going to push in on their capital, because I am aggressive. How big is this fleet? 3K? No problem. How many armies? Oh, no problem. Should have put armies on your planets. But it's too late now. This one has an army. Pretty big one, actually.
Seizure of planetary asset.
So I'll have to pummel it for a while. Let's cut their ship off from doing anything. From backcapping us.
Planetary market secured.
So rather than ground pounding the planet, we'll go cut off their fleets.
Starbase under assault.
Because they're assaulting our starbase. Shouldn't have done that.
Station under assault.
So if we find... There's a battleship. They're noticeably bigger and have big cannons, and I totally won that fight pretty easily. Back to pummeling that planet. And we're hunting down their fleets. Okay, all of my armies are now recruited, my Gene Warrior army. So I'm going to send them all to go help out the Eastern Front. And merge in with the previous fleet, because this fleet is 22 strong. I got some random ruler gain. Oh, they just leveled up. Sorry, I misread that. Let's take a quick check on factions. So Xenophiles are 15 and Xenophobes are 13. I'm just going to rename the factions 15 to 13 pop so we can keep track of them. Now, I'm going to encourage political thought, which increases the chance of an ethics change. And that I'm doing that in hopes to change some of them over. Change them back from Xenophiles and Xenophobes back to Materialists, Egalitarians, or Militarists. I haven't really embraced militarists, so most likely Materialists and Egalitarians. And in fact, what I can do, well, yeah,
Upscaling complete.
that will work. Vrinn, Dram. All right, as you can see, my consumer goods usage is going down. But my mineral usage is going to go up as a result. They're kind of linked in that way. I'm also negative in exotic gases and rare crystals, but I'm not going to worry about that yet because I'm fractionally negative. Not that big of a deal. I caught up to their big fleet and crushed them. My war score is going up as a result. And I'm going to start pushing to their capital. My other fleet back here is just hammering their home planet, trying to weaken up their army. Oh, and I have some backup. Perfect. Not saying that I couldn't do it alone, but backup is nice. If you look at my consumer goods, I'm barely in the negative now. I'm really digging myself out of that hole. And that's sort of the way to do it, is to, as soon as you have some sort of negative, to address it immediately. Because if you try to triage it by buying resources like I did, you're going to dig yourself into a bigger hole eventually. It's best to work a fix rather than to patch one up. All right, their fleet is done for. And that was the capital, I believe. And that's going to count a lot to our war. Oh, no, that's not their capital. Where is their capital? Oh, maybe it was. I think it... Oh, yeah, Kolak. Yeah, it was obviously their capital, because they're their Kolaktora. And now I'm bombarding this place. Ooh, a lot of stuff just ran up. Let's get the research grants back and all of these campaigns. And let's also look for someone else to rival, because we only have 3 out of 4, or 2 out of 3 rivals. Unfortunately, we might be out of people that we can rival. Everyone else is pathetic comparatively. Unless I want to rival a Fallen, but I'm not ready to do that yet. They'd crush me. I have a lot of subjects. Yeah. Alright, I can't have any more rivals. That's good to know. Alright, this is a fleet of armies that I don't care much about, so I'm going to send them in. If they die, I'll replace them with the Gene Warriors. The Gene Warriors are a lot stronger. No, my general gained the stubborn trait, which is no good. Now, my piracy is sorted here. Which is good. I'm pushing up against capitals now, and I have a new tradition point. So, there's only one thing left, which is expansionism. Adopting it gives me colony development speed. And because I'm going tall, the only thing I really want is the courier network in here, which is what I'll race towards. Everything else is kind of pointless for me. Okay, I've lost a few ships here. Just adjusting my fleet so my people don't want to replace it. They don't have much in the way of an army guarding this.
Planetary market secured.
And my other fleet has just grabbed Sapad. Not a lot of troops left, but enough.
Research actualized.
Alright, I need the glandular acclamation, I think. Let's check my Ascension perk. To get the evolutionary mastery, yeah, glandular acclamation, good. That will unlock that. I had that option before and didn't take it. Danny mentioned that to me. I just overlooked it before in my haste. Their little fleet's not likely to take Kolak back, so I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, this fleet's army should be ready to invade.
Attempting to acquire planetary market.
And as you can see, I'm pretty close to achieving my war
complete.
Goals. Dram, you're all set. Let's give you some more anchorages and a logistics office so that you can support more
Research
ships.
actualized.
I got the big consumer good construction things. Either I can make it faster and cheaper to make battleships, or maybe better alloy plants, or Citadel, and I'm probably going to go with Citadel because that also pushes my Ascension perks. So one of the things about Ascension perks is, or really about research in general, It seems random what research you're being offered, but depending on what you build and research and the scientists you have, you can influence it. So I really want the, what is it called? I want the Galactic Wonders or Mega Engineering research to be available. And if I research certain pre-requirements of that research, I'm more likely to unlock Mega Engineering. That's sort of what's going on here. All right, so I have my super trooper fleet at Sinople, poised and ready to help out if need be. Unfortunately, I'd have to clear a big path between where the troop is and where I am, because we're coming at two different angles. And they're all very upset with me and insulting me in a variety of languages, because I am crushing the galaxy pretty quickly here. I'm not ready to fight the pirates, because mostly my fleets are currently engaged, so I'm going to pay them tribute to leave me alone. The tribute barely scratches my current energy credits, so that doesn't really matter. And then also, let's talk to the Curator Order and buy some more L-Gate stuff. And then maybe talk to these guys. And let's open some reliquaries. I'm going to buy a bunch of caravan coins. And reliquaries are like loot boxes. This one had nothing but a sense of pride and accomplishment, kind of a jab at EA. And I'll have to wait a little bit to open the next one. But alas, I do realize the amount of time I've spent in this episode already. I'm out of time. So as you can see, the general trend is I'm teching up, I'm getting stronger, and I'm slowly making everyone my subsidiary. In fact, all of the yellow here is subsidiaries. Green is, of course, my home territory. So I'm doing a pretty good job of that. If I look at the leaderboard before I end this video, I am in third, only second to the Fallen Empires, and I'm well in third. The fourth is a subsidiary of me. The fifth is a subsidiary of me, and the sixth is the subsidiary of me. So this is a runaway. This is like Usain Bolt running against octogenarians at this point. But regardless, I plan on seeing this through. So thank you all for watching. If you have any questions for me or feedback of any type, drop me a line, and I do hope that you tune in next time. Adios, everybody.